Well guys, it seems that almost everyone in the world loves Alan Wake 2 because according to the gaming media and my fellow content creators, we have another Game of the Year contender on our hands. 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, Game of the Year, Game of the Generation. Yet, to be completely honest with y'all, I came away from Alan Wake 2 feeling as if I was trapped in an episode of Night Springs. Because it feels like I was one of the few people that was truly underwhelmed by the title and just flat out disappointed with the sequel. However, do not get me wrong, the game does have some great moments and actually knocks some elements out of the park. So before I go into my gripes with the game, I want to cover some of the more positive aspects in Alan Wake 2. By the way, as a quick side note, some of the footage shown in the video and some of the things I talk about will contain spoilers. So there was your spoiler warning. With that out of the way, let's just jump into this review. The graphical fidelity in this game is simply top notch. It's definitely one of the best looking games to come out this generation. From the scenery to even the character models, Alan Wake 2 is absolutely stunning. In fact, if everything was based on a beauty contest, Alan Wake would definitely take the crown. From the small town of Bright Falls to the outdoor woods, to even the dark, gritty, gothic New York City, the game never fails to deliver. And it's not just beautiful scenery and character models, but even some of the mechanics the game has just shows how advanced this game is graphically. You end up getting a lamp that allows you to alter the world around you by either lighting up areas or dimming them. Now, not only does this change the lighting effect, it also immediately changes the environment. This seamless transition just shows what the game really has to offer. And if you thought that was cool, when you play as Alan, you could rewrite the story, which in turn alters the reality of the dark place, instantly changing the level layouts and determining where you could go. These mechanics are buttery smooth and incredible. Honestly, I'm shocked this game was not used as a selling point in ads for SSDs. Now, graphics are just part of the overall atmosphere of the game. After all, audio does play an important key role in setting the tone and the overall vibe. Luckily for us, the game delivers on this front as well. Alan Wake 2 has crisp, amazing audio. Hearing the noises in the background as you wander through the small towns or the woods really does add to that experience.
The tracks lead into the water. Where'd you go from here?
And it's not just Saga's campaign that the audio is just top notch. When you play as Alan and you traverse through the dark place, you can hear whispers or shouts coming from the dark presence surrounding you, taunting you the entire time. Honestly, this is one game where I highly recommend if you have a good pair of headphones, wear them when you play the game. It will really help with the full immersive experience the game is truly trying to offer. But let's move on and discuss the next thing of positives on this list. The cast in the game did an absolutely phenomenal job. Everyone delivers a high quality performance, and it's not just in their voice acting. The game has live action cutscenes and they all did really good in those segments as well.
It's so good to see you, Alan. This must be an exciting time for you. Tell me, does it ever get old?
So does what get old?
Publishing a new book. Are you okay there, my friend? You look like you've been cooped up in the writer's room for a few too many years.
This is exactly how I feel.
I really have nothing bad to say about any of the voice actors or actors in the game. They all truly went above and beyond. Plus, we got to actually see what will most likely be Max Payne in the upcoming Max Payne remasters.
The writer. I'm Alex Casey. I'm looking into a murder.
And if voice acting and live action acting on camera was not enough, the game actually has you play through a level that mimics a music video. And they all did a really good job with this as well. In fact, even Alan Wake has some insane pipes on him.
Such a dark place, am I trapped in here? Is this real? I cannot remember. There was a manuscript that held a key. A vicious cycle I must not surrender to.
By the way, did anyone else find it funny with all the drama going around lately about self-inserts in video games? We have Sam Lake, who not only has made himself a main character in the game, he straight up inserts himself in a music video and just dances the night away. For the entire world to see. What an absolute Chad. So yes, the game has amazing atmosphere, great audio, and a wonderful voice cast. In fact, the story in the game is actually pretty good as well, and it just offers a great, amazing experience. So why am I so disappointed in the game? Well, that's because the actual game part is where things start to slide downhill extremely fast. Alright, I'm gonna be honest, the combat and gunplay in the game is actually not half bad. It's not great, but it's not terrible. In fact, the combat really isn't my issue here at all. It's the fact that the game barely has any combat in it. I didn't even encounter my first enemy until roughly the 90-minute mark. That's right, I didn't see a single monster in a survival horror game until the hour-and-a-half mark. I could have watched an entire movie by the time I saw a monster in this game. And let me tell you, if you are thinking the game's gonna pick up its pace after that first enemy encounter, well, I'm sad to report it does not. Instead, that 90 minutes basically was setting the pace of the overall game. You will have times where you will be wandering around for over an hour without finding anything in sight. In the original Alan Wake, you could barely take 2 steps before Taken were trying to jump you. However, this time around, they replaced those action-packed sequences with long-lasting walking and talking sections. And it's not just the lack of combat, but the enemy variety in this game is abysmal. You fight the same enemies over and over again. And they even reuse the same character models. It just feels lazy and cheap. If you're going to make combat so scarce, at least make the enemy design interesting and unique. It was such a missed opportunity to add some truly unique and disgusting, grotesque creatures, especially when we're playing as Alan in the dark place. However, I already know what some people are gonna say. You don't need a ton of combat to have engaging gameplay. And I actually agree with this. In fact, if the game was willing to step up in other areas, I wouldn't have an issue at all with the lack of combat. However, let's take a look at another gameplay feature the game has in it. For more than half the game, we play as FBI Special Agent Saga Anderson, and we've been sent to Bright Falls to investigate a high-profile murder case. And with the town's history of missing persons, it's no wonder they had to call in the feds. However, if you were expecting to solve this case on your own and use your own logic and reasoning to figure things out for yourself, well, you're gonna be overall disappointed once again. At least I was. For example, the game has a mechanic called the Mind Place. And this is where Saga pieces together evidence on her evidence board trying to figure out what took place at different crime scenes. However, instead of trying to figure things out for yourself and solve them on your own, the game pretty much puts this mechanic on the rails. Every piece of evidence has to go in exactly the correct spot. It does not even allow you to make a mistake. You could simply just smash the action button and try to brute force your way through this. It does not matter. Instead of using your own logic and deduction skills, the game makes this into more of a jigsaw puzzle. However, every piece is super massive and it feels like more of something that's meant for a toddler to piece together instead of a grown adult. And what's your reward when you finally get past this tedious, monotonous mechanic? Well, you guessed it, there's a cutscene that plays where Saga explains to you exactly what happened, as if you couldn't piece it together for yourself.
Definitely something in his chest. Did the killers leave it there?
And if you're wondering if the profile aspect of the game is any better, well, it's even worse. Because in this one, all you do is literally press A on a piece of paper and Saga will just immediately profile everyone for you. And once again, what do we get? That's right, another cutscene.
The cult of the tree. What are the Bookers telling me?
I found their necklace. The symbol is 2 triangles.
The cult wants their spruce tree back, Tammy.
Finders keepers, Ed. My publisher will want this on the cover.
You're not solving anything on your own. All you're doing is pressing that play button and watching another cutscene as she explains everything that's going on and figures it out without any input from the player. Even outside of the Mind Place, everything is on the rails when it comes to doing any sort of investigation work. When you're questioning anyone, you don't even get any real dialogue options. Instead, you have a preset question list, and all you have to do is once again hit the action button, and Saga will take the lead. I hope you like watching cop shows or movies, because that is what it feels like when you're playing this game. You're not actually in the role of an FBI agent, you're watching an FBI agent do all the thinking for you. However, this is a horror game, so maybe the game offers some just unique, fantastic scares that makes it worth playing. Alan Wake 2 is a survival... Sorry about that. Alan Wake 2 is a survival... Okay, that's getting a little bit irritating now. Let's try it one more time. Alan Wake 2... Oh my god, guys, I am so sorry. Yeah, is that getting annoying? Well, if you think so, then Alan Wake 2 will definitely have some areas that will drive you insane. Because flashing an image on the screen and playing a random loud noise is something that happens pretty frequently in this game. Using these tactics just feels cheap and lazy, and it honestly feels like something you would do if you just lack imagination when it comes to the horror elements. Which is surprising because Remedy does not lack imagination. I mean, they have a music video level in the game. All of their games are unique, so it's weird that they did this in their first real true survival horror game. But let's go ahead and just wrap this video up. After all, it's been going on for way too long. Overall, I thought the game was a decent experience, but a lackluster video game. It really feels as if Remedy just wanted to make a TV show with this title. And to be quite frank, I think they could have pulled that off. They had a great plot, amazing actors, and the correct vibe going for it. They just failed so horribly on so many of the gameplay elements. It's very apparent the story was front and center and everything else came as an afterthought. truth be told, I was bored a majority of the time while playing. My brain was basically on autopilot. It felt like I was just watching a movie instead of an interactive video game. Now, I know I'm in a small minority. I just really did not enjoy playing this. Though I will say, I am very happy to see so many others just having a blast with this title. It's just not what I wanted in an Alan Wake sequel. But I would love to hear what you all think. Did you guys have fun playing Alan Wake 2? Have you ever had a game that disappointed you yet seemed to be loved by everyone else in the whole world? Let me know in the comments down below. By the way, if you made it this far and did enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing. As for me, I got a ton of work to do, so I'm gonna get back to the grind. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.